Albert Einstein, a man who ruled science. A man who ruled science at the beginning of the 20th century and discovered new dimensions of subjects like time, space, and gravity in human history. He won the most honorable award in the world, the Nobel Prize for Physics. The name of the one who is considered the most intelligent person in human history is Albert Einstein. Today we will know the story of his life, and don't miss the 10 unheard facts about Einstein's life. Read till the end. Let's dive deep into it. Early life and family. On 14th March 1879, Albert Einstein was born in Ulm, in the German Empire's Kingdom of Württemberg. His parents, Pauline Koch and Hermann Einstein, were secular Ashkenazi Jews who worked as engineers and salespeople. He had one sister, Maria. Maria was 2 years younger than Albert. When the family relocated to Munich in 1880, Einstein's father and his uncle Jakob established Elektrotechnische Fabrik J. Einstein and CIE, a business that produced direct current electrical equipment. From age 5, Albert attended a Catholic elementary school in Munich. He was sent to the Luitpold Gymnasium, now known as the Albert Einstein Gymnasium, when he was 8, where he completed his advanced primary and secondary education. Hermann and Jacob's company submitted a bid in 1894 for a contract to provide electric lights in Munich, but it was rejected because they lacked the funds to switch from direct current to the more effective alternating current alternative. They had to sell their factory in Munich and look for fresh chances elsewhere because their proposal was rejected. The Einstein family relocated to Italy, first settling in Milan and then a few months later in Pavia. There, they made their home in the Palazzo Cornezani, a historic structure that had previously housed Ada Negri, Ugo Foscolo, and Contado Ferrini. To complete his education, 15-year-old Einstein stayed behind in Munich. His father wanted him to major in electrical engineering, but he was a difficult student who did not enjoy the gymnasium's schedule or instructional techniques. Later, he said the school's rigid rote learning policy harmed creativity. He was released from the Luitpold's care at the end of December 1894, thanks to a note from a doctor, and he joined his family in Pavia. A childhood full of curiosity. Einstein was a too curious kid and asked too many questions. Sometimes, his teachers were also irritated with his questions. Einstein was mainly influenced by two wonders that he experienced at a quite early age. His primary experience was with a compass when he was 5 years old. He was beguiled that undetectable strengths might avoid the needle. This would lead to a long-lasting interest in undetectable powers. The second influence came when he was 12 years old. He found something interesting in his geometry book. He also had speech difficulties, however, he acquired a liking for classical music and playing the violin, which he would carry into his senior years. Most notably, Einstein's boyhood was defined by intense curiosity and inquiry. Fascinated by science, philosophy, and the concept of God. He was the kind of kid who was not only fascinated by science and physics but also found interest in the concept of God. He started worship of God and also chanted several religious songs at the age of 12. While studying science, he also felt a deep contradiction between scientific facts and his religious beliefs. Another influential figure in Einstein's life was Max Talmud, later Max Talmay, a young medical student who frequented the Einstein family for supper. Talmud was the informal tutor of Einstein. He introduced Einstein to deeper philosophy and mathematics. Early education. Albert Einstein demonstrated a keen interest in science and mathematics during his formative years. In Munich, Germany, where he attended primary school, he was a maths and physics prodigy. When Einstein was 16, he applied to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic in Zurich, Switzerland. He struggled greatly on the language portion of the entrance exam, though, and failed it on his first attempt. For 1 year, he studied at a Swiss school in Aarau to hone his German, and he passed the entrance test again in 1896. Higher education. Due to his excellent performance in mathematics and physics, he got admission to the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology and completed his graduation. He studied under prominent professors such as Heinrich Friedrich Weber and Hermann Minkowski. During his university years, Einstein delved into independent study, developing a deep fascination with theoretical physics and the works of Isaac Newton, James Clerk Maxwell, and Ernst Mach. He still needed to finish his pre-university education first, so he went to Jost Winterler's High School in Aarau, Switzerland. Einstein lived with the schoolmaster's family and he was infatuated with the schoolmaster's daughter, named Mary Winterler. At the turn of the century, Einstein deserted his German citizenship and became a Swiss citizen. Einstein earned a teaching credential after graduating in 1900. He initially had trouble getting a job in academia and had to work as a tutor and a patent examiner to make ends meet. He authored 4 groundbreaking papers in 1905, including ones on the photoelectric effect and the special theory of relativity, which brought him acclaim from his peers in the field. The foundation of contemporary physics was later laid by these studies. In 1908, Einstein obtained a position as a lecturer at the University of Bern in Switzerland. He continued his research and began working towards his doctorate. In 1909, he submitted his doctoral thesis titled A New Determination of Molecular Dimensions, which explored the properties of liquids and earned him a PhD degree from the University of Zurich. Clerk in the Swiss Patent Office. After completing his graduation, he faced many challenges. In 1902, through someone's reference, Einstein got a job as a clerk in the Swiss Patent Office. That was the first time Einstein was able to find stability. Along with his job as a clerk, Einstein got the excellent opportunity to expand and polish all the concepts that he understood at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. At that time, he worked on his most popular theorem, principle of relativity. In 1905, Einstein published 4 papers in the Annales der Physik. Annales der Physik was one of the most well-known physics magazines of the time. The photoelectric effect and Brownian motion were the 2 subjects among those. The other 2, which outlined E is equal to mc superscript 2 and the special theory of relativity, were pivotal in Einstein's career and the development of science. His married life and children. Einstein married Mileva Maric on 6 January 1903. Maric was a Serbian physics student. Einstein and Maric met while attending school in Zurich. Einstein and Marie married in January 1903. Einstein and Maric had blessed with 3 children. Their son Hans Albert Einstein was born in Bern, Switzerland, in May 1904. In July 1910, their son Eduard was born in Zurich. They had a daughter named Liesel. In April 1914, the couple relocated to Berlin, but Marie returned to Zurich with their sons after discovering that Einstein's current primary romantic interest was Elsa Lowenthal, his first cousin maternally and second cousin paternally. The divorce between Einstein and Marie was finalized on 14 February 1919, after a 5-year separation. Einstein pledged to pay Marie any future, in the event, 1921, Nobel Prize money as part of the divorce settlement. Einstein and Maric's love story and marriage would end with divorce in 1919. After that, Maric experienced an emotional breakdown due to the split. Throughout his second marriage, which ended with Lowenthal's death in 1936, he continued to visit other women. The Year of Glory, Nobel Prize. 1921 was the year when the world was about to see the power and miracle of being curious. In 1921, Einstein was honored with the highest Nobel Prize in Physics award. He was awarded Nobel Prize for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. He believed his brain is his laboratory and his fountain pen is his tool. In opposition to the fact that his theories on relativity were still controversial, Einstein described the concept of the cosmological constant. That concept claimed that the cosmos was a static object. Later on, his general theory of relativity directly opposed his previous concept and created a contradictory idea that the universe may be in a state of flux. In 1931, during a conference at the Mount Wilson Observatory near Los Angeles, astronomer Edwin Hubble deduced that we live in an expanding universe. It means this universe is constantly expanding beyond time and space. Incredible inventions and discoveries. As a physicist, Einstein made numerous discoveries, but his theory of relativity and the equation E is equal to mc superscript 2 is likely best recognized. Later, Einstein's theories and inventions helped in the creation of atomic power and the atomic bomb. Let's know more about his discoveries. Einstein's equation. The equation E is equal to mc superscript 2 was suggested by Einstein in 1905. This equation is also known as Einstein's equation. This equation describes the matter-energy relationship where E denotes energy, m denotes mass of the body and c is the speed of light, 3 times 10 m-sec. This equation implied that little bits of matter might be turned into enormous amounts of energy. The whole of quantum physics rests on this one formula. Theory of relativity. Relativity theory is a theory that describes how the universe works. Albert Einstein's explanation of how gravity influences the fabric of space-time is known as general relativity. The hypothesis, published in 1915, improved on Einstein's theory of special relativity, which he had published 10 years before. The theory of special relativity describes that time and space are implacably linked, and they are beyond gravity and gravitational force. The photoelectric effect. Although Einstein has discovered many theories, yet, in 1921, he was honored with the Nobel Prize for his photoelectric effect. In the photoelectric effect, he explained that light has dual nature. Light acts like a wave and particle too. There is still a lot of research going on in his theory. Einstein's theory and atomic bomb. The United States attacked with 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, 2 cities of Japan, on August 6 and 9, 1945, respectively. Between 129,000 and 226,000 persons were murdered in the 2 attacks, mostly civilians. Einstein has not invented the atomic bomb, but Einstein's theories played an important role in making the atom bomb. Later, he was very sad that the formulas made by him could become a threat to the whole of humanity. Quantum physics and time travel. Einstein was immensely interested in his unified field theory, so he started to work on it after Second World War. He had worked on the key features of the general theory of relativity and also some mysterious aspects of the universe such as black holes, time travel, and wormholes. When he was fascinated to know more about the origin of the universe, at that time most of his colleagues were focusing on quantum theory. He didn't have the desire to be in the spotlight. So he isolated himself from the group in the last 10 years of his life and preferred to stay in Princeton. When the light from a star travels close to a black hole, then it would be stretched to longer wavelengths because of the gravitational force, as per Einstein's general theory of relativity, which was proven by a team of scientists in 2018. Death and legacy. On 18 April 1955, Einstein had internal bleeding brought on by the rupture of an abdominal aortic aneurysm that Rudolf Nissen had surgically repaired in 1948. He went to the hospital with the draught of a speech he was going to give on television to mark the 7th anniversary of the State of Israel, but he passed away before he could finish it. According to Einstein, I want to go when I want. Artificially extending life is tasteless. I've done my fair share, now it's time to leave. I'll handle it tastefully. He worked until death, passing away the next morning at 76 in the Penn Medicine Princeton Medical Center. Without the family's consent, pathologist Thomas Stolz Harvey removed Einstein's brain during the autopsy to preserve it in the hope that one day, neuroscience might understand what made him so clever. Nuclear physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer summed up his opinion of Einstein as a person in a memorial address given on 13 December 1965 at the UNESCO headquarters. He was nearly totally without sophistication and wholly without worldliness. He was constantly surrounded by a charming innocence that was both infantile and incredibly stubborn. Einstein left the Hebrew University of Jerusalem in Israel his personal papers, library, and intellectual property. Einstein stated during the last moments of his life, "It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share, it is time to go. I will do it elegantly." A genius and mysterious brain. When Einstein died, Dr. Thomas Stolz Harvey withdrew his brain without the permission of his family. Later on, the doctor was fired for this. He confessed and said he wanted to research Einstein's brain and know why his brain could think extraordinarily. Even today, Einstein's brain has been preserved at Princeton University Medical Center. And the rest of his body was cremated, as per his wish. In 1999, some Canadian scientists were researching Einstein's brain and discovered that some part of his brain was 15% wider than that of average intelligence. Researchers also discovered that his brain had more cells than the others. The researchers believe it may help explain why Einstein was so intelligent. 10 Unheard Facts About Albert Einstein. Einstein's life is an inspiration for us. He didn't believe in God, luck, and all. He only believes that humans can achieve whatever they want only by working hard. Here are 10 unheard facts about his life. Einstein's birthday, which is on 14th March, recognized or celebrated as Genius Day. Einstein said some words while breathing his last which were in the German language. Unfortunately, the person who was with him at that time did not know the German language. So his last words had become the secret forever. Although Einstein was a genius, still his memory was weak. He often forgot names, dates, and phone numbers. Everyone knows that the great Einstein is known across the world for his special and general theory of relativity. But in 1921, he won the Nobel Prize for photoelectric effect not for the theory of relativity. He was considered a dumb child in schools, but that dumb child became a genius man in the future. When he was born, his head was bigger than other normal babies, then the doctors declared him mentally handicapped. In 1999, the most popular Times magazine declared Albert Einstein as person of the century of the 20th century. In 1952, Einstein got the offer to be the president of Israel, but he refused and said that he hasn't made it for politics, he made it for science. Einstein took $5 for giving autographs and $1,000 for delivering the speech as his fees. And later, he gave all the money to charity. Due to Nazi activities, he had to leave Germany. So he was moved to America. Several universities in America offered him to join as professor. But due to the peaceful environment, he chose Princeton University. Galileo Galilei was Einstein's role model. He was an Italian scientist and astronomer. Conclusion: Einstein lived his whole life for science, and as long as there is talk of science, Einstein's name will be on the first page. Science has immortalized him. For hundreds of years, he will not only be an inspiration to the scientists and astronauts of the world, but also he will be a source of inspiration for a knowledge seeker. Dear viewers, we have tried our best to provide you an informative video. Please comment that how did you find this video, because your comments and opinion are very important to us. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel and give a thumb up so that you may be updated for our every effort regarding upcoming video. Take care of your good self.